So you want to grow tomatoes in a grow bag, not really sure where to start. Well, I'm going to give you 3 reasons why I'm not going to be using these grow bags anymore for tomatoes specifically. So this is a 3-gallon grow bag that I got off of Amazon. It was on sale. I was trying to get into grow bags, so I pulled the trigger, and we're going to go over why I won't be using it anymore. So the first part is the fact that I don't think there's quite enough space in here. Oh yeah, that's the one we wanted. Space in here for a tomato. Like, that is just solid root mass. I can't even, oh, there we go. Yeah, just roots everywhere. And tomatoes like to sprawl out. And so when you put them in a confined space like this, after they start getting root bound, they don't really grow that great. Which this one's not terrible, but I have another one that is completely root bound all the way around. And so, yeah, limited space, limited roots, plant doesn't do great. Part 2 for this is the fact that with this limited space, it doesn't do much with water. And I use Fox Farms Happy Frog for the most part. Now this top layer, which is be this third part of why I'm not really going to be using these for tomatoes anymore. But so with that mix, and even with some organic material mixed into it, still didn't hold enough water for tomatoes. So we ended up not doing great with it being 90 degrees, black bags, ended up with a lot of heat, and there's a lot of ants in this one too. With a lot of heat, they dried out a lot, and I was soaking these in a 5-gallon bucket every night, and it still would not retain enough moisture to keep them alive. And so I even thought maybe I was overwatering for a while, so I was giving them the test on the top couple layers of soil, and it just was dry as a bone after 24 hours. So watering is definitely a problem with these smaller containers for tomatoes. The other issue that I have with the size of these is, and even if you do this the way I tried with one of my bags, so you come in, you put your soil in here, and you get it so far up, you mix some fertilizers and everything else in it. Manure, compost is what I was adding to it primarily. You only have, yay much space to fill it up. Then once you get it up so high, you can leave it with a little bit of room at the top here, but you only have so much that you can put in that to add nutrients to it. And that's my third problem with these pots is I like compost. I'm trying to stay away from all chemical fertilizers and chemical based products, and been trying to make my own liquid fertilizers and so on and so forth. And I like to add the compost to the tops of them. Well, with this system, I can't really do that because once it gets so full, there's no more room to add into there. And like I said, I can use liquid nutrients, but it just didn't work out great. And I ended up losing almost all these tomatoes in the last couple of weeks where it's been 100 to 90 to 100 degrees. Everything dried out. They stopped kind of growing. There's one that I pulled already that I thought was going to tell me some of the problem I was having was root bound, which of course it was. It never even produced any tomatoes. It just come up real big green foliage and then started dying off immediately after, which could be other issues. But I personally think that if I grow tomatoes in containers again, it'll be a 5-gallon bucket or a 5-gallon grow bag or something much larger. Or I will be sticking with in-ground tomatoes because my volunteer garden did fantastic. I'm still getting heavy loads of tomatoes out of there. And then my pasture to garden struggled, but we're still getting some tomatoes out of it. It still needs a little bit more work before it's completely ready. But those are the 3 reasons why I will not be using grow bags anymore for specifically tomatoes of any kind. Like I said, potatoes, other items that are smaller and have a much smaller root mass will work great for these, but they're good till they're not.